actually assembled right now. I've done it with the other older housings, and yeah, I've like thrown it down the stairs and it does fine. I'm just trying to make sure I got everything. I'm going to be building this one. This is just the parts kind of like mocked together. It's not actually built. Alright. So, to get started, I just salvage this buck. I've smashed a couple with a hammer too. Tried stomping on it. Just a blank housing. Did not survive the stomp test. Just crushed it. Trying to get the butt cleaned up so I can solder it on the new board. Where's the fucking board? This one's pretty beat up. I'm just gonna do a different one. Let's see. Alright, here's a brand new PCB. Just got a big order of those in so I can start building out parts kits and have them ready to go. The overall build cost of this Alpha build is actually going to be cheaper than the Gen 3s. Obviously, digital Alpha build. The analog one is going to be more depending on what tube you can get. But sometimes you get some crazy bonk tubes for only a couple $100. So just gonna confirm fitment here. Probably not, because ITAR is gay and I don't even want to mess with it. But I have full faith in the community that at some point the Gen 4 files are going to get leaked. So, like, come on, be real here. When these PCBs come, they got a lot of like sharp pieces on them. And so I'm just sanding those down. So, an interesting thing that I found out last night is this like front plate and circuit board will actually work with the Gen 3 bridge. The only difference is the Gen 3, oh, that's not the right one. The Gen 3 has 4 bolt holes in it, like this. This is not a Gen 3 front plate, but the Gen 3 is 4, and this Alpha one has 2, but it'll still fit and work. This one replaces like the momentary push button switch. Like I don't have one on hand right now, but there's like these momentary push button, or not momentary, latching push button switches that you can get, and then this accompanied with one of these latching push button switches eliminates that, and I think it seals it better, honestly, because this one right here is an MJF housing, but this button is like a SLS TPU, so it's powdered TPU that's like cinchered, so should be pretty water resistant. And then when you have everything packed in here, it just presses up tight and should seal it a lot better than like a cheap button will, if that makes sense. So when I'm doing this, what I like to do is like put a little Kapton tape on these two upper pins. It's SHDN and PG. We don't use those pins. There's no like spot for them on the board, but I just don't want them to short onto the board. So yeah. I also like to, when I'm soldering boards onto boards, I'll take some more Kapton tape. This stuff is like super handy actually. I'll take some more and I'll tape the board I'm soldering together, so that way it's like not gonna move around and I don't gotta push on it and burn the shit out of my fingers. So that sucks. So I'll just like hold it in place. There's a little outline where the board's supposed to go, so you shouldn't be able to mess that up. Shouldn't be able to mess it up. Alright, so the Kapton tape is holding that board in place, and then I can go ahead and push some solder onto there. Hopefully get this SOB to stick. This ended up being way more harder than I thought it would, so sorry about that. What I kind of do, I get a little solder on these tabs right here, and I'll just let it get hot until the solder that I'm poking into the hole of the board will melt and stick the board to it. And then you can kind of do like a little pick on it test and pull on it a little bit, see if that did anything. And then, since this board was used, damn, I taped over the holes. See, it didn't stick. Since this board was used, some of the pins are gonna be clogged up. I forgot. I do like to flux. That's what I'm missing here. Probably way too much flux, but I don't really care. Get a little bit of like solder on these pads on the board, just to hopefully help it stick better. So just enough that it like covers the pads. I'm just kind of like trying to rub it around a little bit. Alright, now I'll put the board on there, hopefully it'll stay. I'm going to re-tape this a little bit so it sticks better, at least stop. What's up, dude? Oh, it's Yukon. The main reason I'm doing a live stream right now is just to fucking make sure that it's gonna work for tomorrow. So it'll be pretty embarrassing to like try and do everything tomorrow and then it's like, boom, doesn't work. Because it actually almost wasn't working for me just now when I was trying to hop in here. It was like crashing on me. Damn, this is fucking annoying. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. This is about the easiest thing. Yukon actually is the one who tipped me off to this kind of soldering. Just soldering a board directly on a board. Eliminates the need to like rebuild your own circuit and have like try and have fucking all those little pieces. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people that are doing this project are not like super good at soldering, so this just kind of alleviates some of that. The Gen 4 sensors, it's just using the same Night Eagle 3, so we haven't pinned down exactly what sensor it is because RunCam won't tell us, but pretty certain it's the IMX 335. It's pretty cool, but I don't know, man. It's kind of supposed to be a do-it-yourself type thing. So, like, even in the parts kits, they're not going to come soldered together. I cannot get these suckers to stick. I do not know why. Burning the shit out of my hands, too. Alright, what the fuck? Let me bust something out real quick. I got a new one of these little helping hand dudes because my old one has gotten pretty fucking beat up. He doesn't really, he's only got one hand and nothing stays in place, so. Yeah. What's your like method? What do you do for soldering board to board? Because like sometimes I can get it first try. Other times, like right now, it's like I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it's not fucking sticking. Put some flux on this buck and see if that helps. That is probably true, but part of the experience, I guess, is like doing it yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's meant to be, like it's not meant to be just a fucking operator fucking system. It's meant to be a night vision system that you can like do on your own, essentially. Much thicker solder tip. I have a much thicker one, but yeah, whatever. It's too hot, I don't want to change it. I'm just gonna add more solder until it works. My vision is also not the greatest since I've had this eye surgery, so it's like really small. Is this a bad view? Like the fucking pad's ripped off? I don't know. It's a used buck. Could just be all fucked up. No, didn't announce the winner yet. These are actually like way simpler to build than the Gen 3s. I can't really put it on a scale, but like I guess in terms of build time, Gen 3s take a grip because you have to like figure out the wiring yourself. Whereas like this, you don't really have to figure out the wiring yourself. You just kind of have to solder into the PCB, and that does the wiring for you. Yeah, I have a heat gun and solder paste, but I have not had luck using it. I don't know like why, but like the components start to come off of the PCB itself before it fucking sticks. Probably just because the size difference. The little PCB gets hotter quicker or something maybe. Alright, we're stuck. It's on there crazy crooked, but as long as it's got continuity. Oh shit. Like I said, my close-up vision really sucks right now, so gotta use a magnifier. Alright, I'm gonna suck some of this extra shit off the board because there's so much on there. Let me just read through some of these quick. Definitely get what you're saying on the like heat it and let it flow, but it's just like I can't really see that good right now to be honest, but so I'm just kind of trying to melt it together and hope it sticks. It's also like a used board, so there could be like a lot of contamination in there because the solder was like kind of ugly. Somebody in the Discord tipped me off to some good solder paste, this brand, but like I said, it hasn't really like worked for me because the like these little tiny components start moving as I'm blowing on it with the heat gun before it actually like starts to go. If you want to try these for airsoft, go ahead. I mean, they work for anything. Like they pick up lasers and flashlights, IR ones, so they work pretty good for airsoft stuff. I don't actually do anything airsoft, so so for a camera, I'm actually using my phone. I can get down a little closer. It's like orientation is locked. Just trying to adjust things. Does this help? Is this better? So there's a lot of like tiny shit on it, and it starts to flow off. Yeah, Firebird. We're looking into better cameras, but there's nothing better on the market right now. We're trying to get some custom ones like commissioned, I guess, but RunCam wants like a stupid amount of money to do that, so I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to make that work. So have thought about using Limo connectors. Problem with that is they're like $50 a piece. So literally to use a Limo connector, all you have to do This is like just the back plate off of a set, but you just take something and you just ream that hole out, and you can put your Limo connector in there. There's not like a whole difference to it. I have a new bridge in development for the Gen 4, which is like way smaller, and it's designed to work with a Fisher port, but it should be able to take like the same DC jacks that we've been using. Yeah, I've heard only good things about the Semo gears. I have one that I bought used from somebody that was busted, and it's still busted. I tried to epoxy it, and the epoxy didn't stick. So I have one. It's good, but it broke. I epoxied it, and then it broke again. So, but like the quality of everything else is nice. And the guy I got it from, actually, his broke, and then he contacted Somo Gear, and they sent him a new one because his broke in such a weird way, like the shell just cracked. So for the push button switch, all I do is I just push those terminals in, and I just kind of crunch the switch down till it's flat against the board, and it'll bend those terminals in a way that like kind of makes it work. And then just hit these with a little bit of solder. I'm gonna rig this up in my helping hands guy. Yeah, I haven't put like that amount of rounds through them. I went out and I put quite a bit of rounds. I was testing out the PVS-69s mostly, but I have a couple lasers. Give me a sec while I solder this and think. I have one, it's like a Chinese Engol. Total waste of money. Held zero fine, but it didn't have like a high and low setting. And as far as like laser brightness and light brightness, the $60 Amazon PEC beat this Engol, which was $300 in like brightness of the lasers and stuff. But it held zero fine. It's a metal one, so that was like cool, I guess. But like I said, it didn't meet what I would call a good standard. Haven't ever used any NNVTs yet. I kind of want to, just because they're like cheap tubes, and this is supposed to be a cheap night vision project. Currently, I just have ITT tubes, and I have a single L3 tube. They're just like tubes I picked up off the interwebs, and yeah, I need a camera. I don't have a camera. I just use my phone for everything, which sucks for like trying to record through the night vision because there's 3 cameras. I wonder if I can demonstrate it. So can't. It won't switch because I'm on a live stream. But there's 3 cameras, and if one gets covered up or thinks it's covered up, it just switches. And it's super annoying because like if I'm trying to get the night vision close to it, and then it just like switches and it's like out of frame. And it's like, oh great, like that's not what I want. So we got our buck soldered on, and now I'm just gonna test continuity across it. So got our switch soldered on too. That's also important. So I'm gonna go from the positive terminal and just test on voltage in, which is this pin right here. Continuity, make sure the switch works. All right, no continuity. Then we're gonna go ground. I also like to make sure that I'm not shorting on other pins. So voltage in, there's no contact to ground. And voltage out, there's no contact to ground. Positive out, no contact to that. Do I have an Android? There's a third-party camera app that I believe can stop the problem with the camera switching. I actually have a 13 Pro iPhone, so I do not have an Android. I have been wanting to get an Android just so I can do iTac, but that's about it. Okay, it looks like I don't have continuity from the board voltage out to, from the buck voltage out to the board. So I'm just gonna reheat that solder joint a little bit and hopefully that'll gain some continuity there. It's weird since I got this eye surgery, how weird things look now. I do know that there's ATAC for iOS. I have it downloaded, but the thing is I want to set up like a WinTAC server, and I don't know if iTac can connect to WinTAC. And since literally everybody uses Android for it, I would prefer to do that as well. Still not getting continuity on this last pin. I think I'm just gonna like reheat it and try and shift the board. So I think the board's actually shifted away, so it's not getting continuity or like touching at all. Yeah, as soon as I found out that they put iTac back on the Apple Store, I downloaded it because I knew that it was only a matter of time before they took it off. It does work with WinTAC. That's cool. I'd like to like have a server that's like somewhat public yet controlled, just because I feel like, you know, it's kind of important. But no fucking, what the fuck is going on? Am I just retarded? Certainly looks like it would be connected, but I guess it ain't. So, pump some more solder onto it, I guess. I'm by no means a soldering expert, so what I do may not be the proper way to do it. I think I broke the system here. I'm somehow touching both solder points at the same time, using solder to like make the solder. Alright, if it doesn't work now, then there's no sweepstakes tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Fucking A. What the hell? Wait, we got a beat. That meant something. Yeah, everybody loses. Sorry, guys. Thanks for joining. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm actually super excited for whoever's going to win tomorrow. That's I got all the names entered in. I actually did it by order number, not by names, just because it's like easier for me to do. And tinning the parts being joined can help too. That's what I kind of tried to do, but it didn't flow right when I was starting that. Super excited for whoever's winning tomorrow. It's pretty freaking damn good set. PSR himself touched them, so that's pretty cool. Kind of bummed that he never put out a video on it, but it is what it is. He sent me like a write-up of his feedback. Apparently he wasn't like super impressed by them. Kind of fanboyed over those AGM global nods, but it is what it is. He was having like the same double vision issue that a lot of guys had, and I was trying to talk to him for a while, and we were trying to get that resolved, but I guess in the end it just didn't get resolved. So it is what it is. But once I have a decent set of Gen 4s, that burned the shit out of me. Holy. Why is there still no fucking continuity? Once I have a decent set of Gen 4s, I'm going to try and send those out to him and see what he says there. I probably won't do too many streams, to be honest with you. I don't know how to do like editing video or any of that stuff, so it probably would be wasted on me, if I'm being totally honest with you, man. What the fuck? Alright, I'm convinced something's broken here, because there ain't no way that's not connected. But to be sure, we're just going to take it off. It's hot. It's so hot. Oh my God. There's no way to explain to you guys how ridiculously hot this is right now. Fuck. My dog just jumped. Alright. There is no way this is not connected now. Hell no. Wait. It said something on the multimeter actually. It displayed numbers, but it didn't. Fuck, man. That's possible. I don't know how to test that, but like that looks like it would have to fucking be connected. Oh my God, it's still so hot. It's like burning the shit out of my fingers. There's like a massive ground plane on the back, so the thing held some heat. Yeah, like, that looks like it's fucking connected for sure, but I guess it just ain't. I don't want to, like, continue assembling it and then have to, like, come back to this point, so I want to make sure that's connected. I wonder what if I could just, like, do this. See what that does. A little bit of sandpaper on there. Wipe it with rubbing alcohol. What a coincidence. I have a bottle of rubbing alcohol right here. And a random little wipe. What I should have did is wiped everything down and like fluxed it properly before even starting. So that's on me. Alright, wiped it with alcohol. We'll see what happens. Might work, might not. Didn't work. I'm gonna hit it with more fucking heat. Since this eye surgery, things are shinier, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but like this solder, when it's shiny, it's like ridiculously shiny. So that's what makes this the hard part for me. Does clicking this button do anything? Hit the button, see what that happens now. Alright, I'm convinced. Taking the buck off. Holy shit, I've really been trying to solder this buck on for fucking almost 40 minutes. That's whack. Fuck, that's hot. Jesus. So I got it like moving, but it's not gonna come off quite yet. Oh my gosh, that's so hot. Holy fuck. Jeez. So there's like a fucking, looks like there's like a black chunk. Oh my gosh, this buck is hot. There's like something black on the pin that wasn't sticking. I'm just gonna like, what's up for grab on the sweepstakes? Well, since you asked, there's set of PVS-69. I got them right on the table over here. This set's MJF. It's got a push button. Pretty dope setup. This is the ones that PSR had. Second place is an Ender 5 Pro. I do have that as well. Don't know where it is exactly, but I have some of that. There just seemed to be some crud on the bottom of that one. So hitting it on this little sandpaper, clean it up a little bit. I don't know if that's the proper way. Like I said, I'm gonna wipe this down with the alcohol and then try and like reflux it or whatever. Oops. I like the desoldering stuff, but I also like this thing. This thing is fun too. This one is a new one, but I have one that's like super beat up because I've just abused the shit out of it. But you just like put it and boop, and it just sucks the freaking solder off the board. It's super handy, especially for like these through holes on, like for example, if I wanted to get the solder out of these pinholes, I would chalk this guy up in here, heat it from one side, sucker on the other, and just pop it out. Alright. I'm gonna grab some more Kapton tape and tape this sucker down. Yeah, I usually buy like the cheapest decent stuff on Amazon, and that sucker came with it. Had no clue what it did for the longest time. I thought it was like an injector for this solder paste that they include. So I was like trying to suck the solder paste into it, and I was like, how in the hell is this supposed to work? Because the solder paste is like not like a paste. It's like a fucking, I don't even know how to explain it. It's this. It's just like wax versus like, when I think of paste, I think of a wet kind of paste. Alright, gonna retry taping it beforehand. I fluxed it, the pads are tenderized. Now, just hope that the shit doesn't burn the fuck out of my hands. That's like the main reason that I've like kind of want to stop building completed units, because I burn my hands so much. Like I'll get done building a set of freaking Gen 3s for someone, and my hands will literally just be like crispy on the end. Whoa, I got that buck way off. Yeah, dude, I'm supposed to hold on to it with something other than my fingers right next to the solder joints too. I just forget all the time. Yeah, the stuff I have also comes in a syringe, but the issue I had with it is by the time my air gun, which is like this thing, gets hot enough, it starts pushing, it starts like blowing on the pieces and moving them, and then it never, like, I start fumbling around and then I just break the buck, and these bucks are like $10, so a single buck for $10. All right, we had a beep. Now it's gotta just be the freaking stuff messing with it. One thing I do want to note about these little PCBs is I use like non-standard. All right. Getting numbers on the multimeter. Not like a contact, but numbers, which I think is a good sign because my multimeter battery is like dead. So I think this means we're golden. I'm getting numbers on my multimeter, but my multimeter is probably dead, which is why when I touch the pins directly together, it gets contact, but like even this, what? What? What just happened? What the fuck just happened? It just literally came off. I didn't even touch it. Yukon obviously can't tell what a good solder joint is. Said that's a much better one than last time. Fucking thing just fell off. How did that happen? Alright. Plan. Fucking other plan. Clamp it right here. No, that won't work. If I clamp it. Alright. New plan. Burn the shit out of my hands. Dude, the shit just like fell off. Cold. Yeah, right. This was so hot. Ribbon cables for what? I don't know what that is, and I don't want to have to deal with soldering them. However, speaking of ribbon cables, I do want to like figure out a way to use the PVS-14 like MX-11769. Fuck! Super hot. I want to figure out how to use those ribbon cables to do auto gain. Well, are you talking about a ribbon cable like this? This kind of ribbon cable? Are you talking about like I have these dumb little like, this is obviously mounted to something, but these little pins? Well, it's on there again now, so I guess we'll see how good it's on there. Realistically, you don't need to have a regulator in the bridge, because if you just feed the unit 3.3 volts anyways, you should be good. I do not understand what's going on, because it's not even getting continuity from the solder pad. Let me grab a different board. Maybe something's like broken on the board. No, there's no way. The board, the pad is like literally is the trace. I made these like really thick traces, and the holes are like really big, so people with clumsy hands like mine can like still put stuff in them. Well, guess this just means I'm going to keep burning my hands until I get it. I have one. I could try it, but like I said, the problem I was having before is the air gun starts moving components. Like it'll start moving what's on the buck. I have thought about like a remelt station and how that could possibly work. The issue right now is there's a switch already on the bottom, so we can't heat it from the bottom because the switch is plastic. Damn, I was hoping this would be a lot more eventful. It's just me just fucking messing around, not getting it done. Oh no, what's the bad news? Oh, that's fucking hot. Alright, if this is not soldered now, I have no clue. Oh no, Voss is coming out. It's coming out of the closet, guys. Alright. For some reason, that's not fucking working still. What I'm just gonna do instead is test it. Maybe shocking the shit out of it will wake it up. So that's gonna be positive. What is spagoot? Don't know what that is. Alright, we'll shoot like 7 volts into this thing. And then, oh, this is I'm gonna try and put voltage into the block, but then also test the output voltage. So this guy is gonna hold my positive. You out of here, Yukon? And then this guy should be making a positive connection down here. I know you can't really see what's going on, but I got a multimeter and a oh no, alcohol all over my desk. Got a multimeter and like a power station going. So as long as I don't fuck this up like that. I have that like Yahoo or whatever solder station, and that has like a built-in iron to it. Alright, by my friggin' mathematicalness, I should have voltage equaling 3.3 volts when I do this. And I have nada. Jeez. got our positive. Now here's the negative. Here's the negative out. Positive out. 0 volts. Press the switch. Damn, everything's just wiggling and wobbling. Wait, we had a voltage. And then it went away. Might have just been ghost voltage. Yeah, I think it was actually. Damn. What the fuck is going on? Alright, I'm bored of this part. I'll do that later. Since I'm having such a bitch of a time soldering, I'm not going to solder these ones up. I'm just going to take them out of other housings. But these are the tube PCBs. You can do pogo pins or these spring connectors. The pogo pins just push into the circles, and the spring connectors get soldered on. Should have 2 matching ones. Let me find the other one to mate the. I like the spring connector better. The pogos like kind of catch, and they'll bust sometimes. So you can bust a pogo off. Which, I mean, they're super cheap, so that's not a problem because you get like 30 of them anyways. I know I got another one around here somewhere. I just don't know where. Fuck, man. The F. Alright, anyways, here's how this works. This is a pod right here. Wide view. It's fucking weird. So oh, hell. Guys, I just broke my mount. That's all. Give me a sec. You guys see everything? Got this weird rotation going on. Should be fixed now. Alright, here's the skinny on the alpha housing. Takes the PVS-14 lens. I'm sure everybody knows this, but objective lenses, and then it's got like a infinity / close focus stop there. I've greased these housings up a little bit already, but PVS-14 eyepiece with like a printed housing for that, and then this is the experimental hyperlight housing where it's got like a deboss on the interior to like reduce weight but hopefully not strength. And basically these PCBs, they just go up inside and out the front. If I can make it work. You don't need much wire for this. You really only need like a couple inches. So it's like way too much wire. I'm gonna cut these like frayed ends off. And this will be the first time that I've put one of these PCBs in the MJF housing, so you're seeing it here first. and then the connectors go towards the back or the eyepiece. Boom. That's how that fits in there. Then you can drop your intensifier tube in. I have this nice little mock-up that I put some copper on. And then just line up the positives, and obviously don't push right here on your actual tube if you're using tubes, but boom, that's in. And there's like some threaded retaining ring. Then you can throw this on there. So, the way to solder these little PCBs, the wire passes through and then comes back through, and you solder that way. And red is always going to be on the right for both PCBs. When you get it to the point of doing this front piece, it's going to I'll just pull up the bridge right here. You'll have your PCB right here. Obviously don't put it in the bridge yet, because this is going to be, that would be like extra tricky to do this part, but you feed your wire into these. It comes out right there. And then you have your board, and you're going to pass through your red wire in the bottom one, and then pass through the black wire in the top one. And then you can go ahead and put the board, pull these as tight as you need them or whatever, and do the other side at the same time. Strip this and stick it in here. And like I said, I used extra large holes in this file, so actually the whole cased wire might be able to fit through that hole. But if that makes sense. V780 lenses won't work without a tube modification, not just an adapter. They don't sit close enough to the, where'd it go? MX69. Interesting. As it so happens, I have this V780 right here, and as it also so happens, this is a dead one, so that V780 is dead. Says we can't get it close enough, huh? We'll drop this tube in here. I don't know where my MX69 is, but damn, that's an F. Okay, but I have a V760 lens right here, which will work. That one will fit inside. 780 lens does not fit inside. Interesting. Alright, Medic, thanks for that update. It's pretty good. Ryan, what wire am I using? Let's see. This is whatever that is. Where does it say the gauge? Let me read it quick. Alright, there's a bunch of gauges on here. None of them are checked. Pretty sure this is 24 gauge, but I'm not positive on that. I've also used this stuff. Not sure what gauge this is either, but this is nice because it comes in little pairs, so you can just use I literally use this much in a pair, and then I run that through the tube. Dang, I was really hoping to have a working set built for you guys tonight so you could see them, but obviously this buck is retarded, or I'm retarded. How the hell did this happen? Since we stopped working on the buck came off this much. It's solid, but it had fallen off. So weird. The solder stayed hot enough that it was able to have the buck fall off. Well, in any event, I'm not going to get a set working on this live stream tonight, guys. Sorry about that. There will be a build video coming out. I promise. I promise I'm going to do it way better than the Gen 3 one, because I know that one sucked. There's like a couple different versions of the build guide because things changed, and I learned from like best practices, I guess, on how to like do it better. So actually, a new practice I'm finding on the Gen 3 is to literally epoxy like 10 mil sections of brass tube in each end. If you epoxy the brass tube in, then all you have to do is run your wires through the tip into this brass tube, into your bridge or whatever, and you don't have to worry about cutting them on like this potentially sharp part that's right here. I don't think there's any real effect to the strength. With the Gen 4, this part is printed back here. Even in the FDM prints, this is a carbon fiber PLA. This is not broke off. So this is pretty strong, especially when you run the M3 bolt through it. I'll just like put this on here and just kind of show you like, oh, tried to show you, it broke. But if you have the M3 bolt in there, probably wouldn't break that easily. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I am super excited to say that the parts kits that are going to be out for the alphas are going to be cheaper than the parts kits for the previous versions. Oh my gosh, that thing is not coming out of there. That's so stuck in there. Pulled out the old Ryobi, knock her out. Yeah, weird. Should I try it on the other side, but like stick a bolt in there? It's worth a shot. I am live. That's a fact, yes. Oof. Did you have a question? Oh, here we go. Oh, PVS-7 ocular lens. Buddy, those were a bust. I'm telling you, you do not want to switch to a PVS-7 lens. I'll go grab one in a sec, but the pictures were deceiving. Alright, we got our fucking bolt through there. That's on there. Oh, does the same thing. Breaks off. Oh well. There is one difference in that. One sec. Let me do this. This one, it did have a hexagon cutout for a nut. I don't really like that because it was putting the nut in here and there's just like not enough thickness in there, and these things were actually able to like bust off with my fingers. So I did away with the nut indent and now it's just like a circle here. But I tried to like move it back, I think when I did this bridge rendition, but it didn't really work. I'm telling you, dude, the 7 lenses are a bust. I bought an entire bag of PVS-7 lenses, and this is what they are. Like, PVS-14, PVS-7. They're not super Gucci, in my opinion, I guess. Yeah, it's fucking tiny. I talked to a dude on the like our night vision channel, and he said that they literally just are this small. And I was like, what? That's crazy, because they don't look that small. I want to find out where you can get these from the old China guys. These came on like some of the 760s back in the day, and I think we thought these were 780s that they mistakenly sent us, but who knows. But I want to find these lenses because these, I am actually almost certain that interior wise these could be the same. Actually, now I'm not, because these are different right here. Well, whatever. I thought they were super similar, but looks like they aren't. But like this versus this is a huge upgrade on the 760s. Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of lenses they are. These 760 lenses are like a weird, super extra bulky, and it has like a diopter indicator on it, and like a, this is for like a eyepiece cup or whatever. This has got it too, but the 780 lenses are like way bigger than they need to be, because this is, you know, pretty much the same thing but packaged into a smaller housing. 780 lens is significantly heavier than that one, but yeah. Moral of the story: PVS-7 lenses are a bust. If you want some, let me know. I got fucking 25 of them, and I have no plans for them. I do actually have plans for them. I lied. I got this dope ass thermal, and I'm gonna turn this into a freaking Biox system. Probably just gonna use 760s, but I might try and like use the PVS-7 lenses just for the like the nostalgia of it, I guess. I don't like Biox. I think they're fucking stupid, but this thermal is pretty cool, and the thing it resembles is a Biox. So yeah, it's a like a 320 sensor. It's pretty good. Raytheon. Where can we get the PCB? The files for the PCB are in the like pre-release pack, and obviously they're going to be released with the rest of it when that comes out. All the parts kits I sell are going to come with the PCBs. They're not expensive. They're super cheap. The problem is when you order them, there's like a minimum order, and it has to be a minimum order of 3. So the way they come, the tube PCBs come like this, and you just snap them apart, sand off the edges, and stick them in. And then the bridge one comes just bare like that. So you'll end up, if you order it yourself, you'll end up with 3 of each, which is like whatever if you want some to practice, but shouldn't be as hard as it is tonight. It's probably just because this buck is used, and the buck itself may not even work. Because I did literally like rip it off of a PCB on live here, so off of a milled circuit board, sorry, not printed. Yeah, well guys, I think this is probably going to conclude it for the night. Sorry I couldn't get nothing working for you. If there's any like last minute questions, just let me know real quick, or else I'm gonna probably just head to bed. I'm pretty tired. Alright, nothing heard. Take care, guys.